I've mentioned from time to time on the channel that I have the privilege of being part of the music team at our church. In fact, my wife is also part of that team and she plays the guitar. They used to have a grand piano on the stage, and I should clarify that our church does not own its own building. You know, a lot of churches, they have a building that they own and they meet there. We share a facility with a Seventh-day Adventist church. They meet on Saturdays, obviously. We meet on Sundays. And so we're using their equipment for sound equipment and so on. Well, we, of course, we bring our own instruments, except for me. I play the piano that's provided. And so they used to have a grand piano up on the platform, which I really enjoyed playing. It was a Yamaha grand piano, very nice. But the Seventh-day Adventist church, their music team decided we don't want to use that piano anymore, so we're going to put it down on the floor, take it off the stage, and they've moved it around, and I think they're eventually going to take it out of the building altogether. And so now I play a keyboard, very much like the one that I have here in my studio. So I can't complain. The keyboard that they provide for us is a top-of-the-line Nord keyboard, very nice. So that's all right. But that piano is now sitting in the sanctuary, but down on the floor. And it just sits there unused. And then downstairs, where all the classrooms are, there's little spinet pianos, I think pretty much in every room. There's at least 3 of them down there. And occasionally, as one of the church elders, I'm called upon to teach catechism to the children on Sunday morning. And so we meet in one of those classrooms downstairs. And whenever you put children in a room and there's a piano, inevitably, some of those children will want to go over and goof around on the piano. But some of the children that are in the catechism class where I occasionally teach, they have taken piano lessons. And so they'll come over there and they'll try to play something like, I don't know, some kind of song that they've been taught. And then you have others who have taken no lessons, but they're over there trying to play by ear. And this one young fellow went over to the piano and he started playing something like this. And then he couldn't find the next note. It was like... And so I asked him, have you been learning that by reading the notes? He said, no, I'm just trying to figure it out by listening. I thought, oh, this kid might have a future if he gets the right kind of guidance musically. And then after the service last Sunday, that big grand piano, as I mentioned, is sitting there in the sanctuary. Nobody plays it. It's just there. And after the service, a young little girl, couldn't have been more than 4 or 5. She kind of reminded me of Cindy Lou Who from the How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so she's sitting at the piano, and it's interesting to see what children do when you sit them in front of a piano. Now, some of them, like the little tiny ones, the toddlers, they get up there and they just, they just bang away. But what this young lady was doing was she was playing a note like this and listening very intently to the sound she was making. And then she'd try one with the left hand, and then another one. And she was just doing this, very carefully playing notes one at a time and listening to them. She wasn't really trying to play a tune, but she was just fascinated by the sound of the instrument. But she wasn't making noise, While she was there carefully exploring one note at a time, another little kid came up and starts banging on the keys, and she's kind of shooing them away so that she can carefully experiment with listening. Now, a lot of times when a child discovers a piano and starts playing around on it, the initial reaction of some adults would be to say, hey, don't do that, get off that piano, go on, you shouldn't be playing it. I can't bring myself to do that, especially when I hear a child experimenting. Some of them will play 2 notes and listen very carefully. Some of them will attempt to pick out a tune. I've heard one of the children sit down and play something like this. I know they haven't had any lessons, but here they are, picking out the melody, and maybe they have to think, what's the next note? And they get it. Their ear is already telling them what that melody should sound like, and they're able to figure it out by ear. These children, some of them are only 5, 6 years old. And I have never had the heart to say, get off that piano, you guys are making noise, disturbing people. Obviously, they're not on the piano during the service. They're playing around afterward. Everybody's milling around, talking and enjoying conversation, so the kids can play. And if they're just sitting there trying to pick out a melody, or if they're picking out different notes just to hear the sounds, I say let them experiment. Let them discover for themselves what it's like to play an instrument. And maybe someday they'll take some good lessons, get a good teacher. I always try to steer those young children into taking piano lessons. Sometimes they even ask if I teach lessons, and I have taught a few young children from time to time. I mainly teach, as most of you know from watching my channel, most of my viewers are mature piano students, folks who maybe studied piano when they were little like that, and then they quit, wish they hadn't, want to come back, and I help them. I also have a lot of people who begin to learn music in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even into their 80s. And I think that's just wonderful. For me, it would be really great for these young children to get some good musical guidance right at the beginning, and hopefully they can continue to be interested in exploring music, maybe on their own, under the guidance of a good teacher, and continue to discover the joys of making music. And that's why I will never let me say that again because it's hard to say. I will never shoo a child away from the piano if they find themselves drawn to the instrument and they start experimenting. Now, if they're going to be banging, just making noise, then I might say, no, let's try playing one note at a time. Play 2 or 3 at a time. See what you think about that. It reminds me of how I discovered the piano. My dad got a big old upright because he wanted to play around, so he could sit down and play his favorite songs like Anchors Away. That he knew how to play that, loved to play. And I sat down at that piano, and instead of banging on it, I experimented with things like this. I'd play 3 notes like that. And I said, boy, that sounds nice. What if I move it up a step? Go up to the next set. What if I try these black keys? I was fascinated by the sounds that I was making by pressing down these keys. And so I asked my parents, could I take piano lessons? And fortunately, we live next door to a piano teacher. Now, that's an entirely different story, but nobody told me to get away from that piano and stop making noise. I was allowed to experiment, to discover the instrument, and of course, I went on crazily enough to make it my career. And now I get to share the joy of making music with others. And so, like I say, whenever I see a kid playing around on the piano, I am very hesitant to make them stop. I want them to continue. So I just thought I'd share that little story with you, just kind of off the top of my head, no script today. So thanks for watching. And if you want to leave a comment, maybe talk about how you discovered the joys of making music, or how you hope to rediscover the joys of making music. Maybe you have a child in your life that is drawn to the piano, or any instrument for that matter, and wants to make music. I can show you maybe how you can encourage them to continue on in that musical journey. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.